What's up, guys? Round 2. We're gonna try. I figure since I'm kind of doing this anyways, we might as well do this part together too. Let me get that set up here. Welcome back. Kind of move the monitor situation around a little bit differently. That way we can get into this kind of troubleshooting. You guys don't need to see it behind me because I'll throw it on the screen when I'm working on it. And I want to make sure that you guys, that we can keep the pace going, essentially, because I'm going to be cutting through this and I'm kind of documenting kind of the performance and the settings and the voltages and all that kind of stuff. So we'll I was gonna do this anyways. We kind of did a rushed review of it earlier. This is what I'd normally do anyways when I'm offline from not having this live stream, is we kind of document all the cards and seeing what they do, what kind of settings we use, what works. If I'm going to be doing that, I might as well just do it with you guys. That way you guys can make feedback, you know, have feedback, have questions. And as we start to try to dial this in, see what works, see what doesn't. I've seen a lot of comments on the last one that people had some misconceptions with the way the power limit works on this, and it seems to be working a little different than the normal cards. And I'm going to kind of go through that and show you guys that where the Vega is acting a little differently than the other cards. And kind of came in here to see if I could unlock the voltage controls, but right now, no matter what we do here, I'm not getting it to unlock. Usually this slider opens up if you, here, let me switch over to the main screen if you guys can see. I can't see if it's way out there. It is. So right now I'm trying to unlock this control here, and it is not allowing us. And this is the latest version. This is 4.4.16. This is beta 16. You guys can't hear me? I'm seeing some people are saying it's very light. Maybe I'll talk a little louder. That's the Afterburner 4.4 beta 16. You did the EULA thing right. Yeah, I think everything's good. Yeah, it comes up the first time you do that, and it asks you if you agree. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking through to make sure, but it's not letting me change it there. Under Wattman, it does let me manually control the voltage here, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's part of the problem. Let me see here. Let's try this. Let's let this reboot and see if Wattman, since I had it under manual control, was locking it. We are going to try to undervolt. We did look at, like, Gamers Nexus looked at it from updating the, pulling the power target all the way to 50%, and then doing an undervolt to try to stabilize the actual GPU. It's been pretty stable. I mean, short of us trying to take the memory up way past what it's designed to do, it's been pretty stable. But the power usage is off the charts. There is a BIOS switch, and we can try that next too. There is a switch on the top of the card. It is in the first position. We'll take some baseline. Well, we already kind of had baselines, I guess. I mean, the Ethereum baseline before I switch that BIOS piece. But let's come back up and just check this. So now that Wattman's turned off, no, it's still not allowing us to change it. Let's switch the BIOS switch and see if that matters. Again, we're discovering this with you guys. We had we just got this card, and there's not a lot of detail out there, and I'm not going to parse through tons and tons of forums. I mean, there's good information on forums. People do disclose stuff, but I don't want to. Something this new, I'd rather just trial and error it ourselves initially. And maybe we'll run into the same stuff, but Master Carter has them. I'm reading your guys' comments. That's funny. So evidently some people are having trouble hearing me. I mean, we haven't changed any of the audio. Yeah, all the hype, man. There was so much hype on this card. Alright, so new BIOS switch. Let's check and see if that unlocked it for us. Which initially it doesn't look like it. These settings are the exact same. I don't really know what that BIOS does, and since you can't update the BIOS, or at least it's locked right now, I really don't understand what the point of a BIOS switch is. But yeah, here, let's do this. All right, let's go back in. Do it again. Nope. All right. Well, we'll check. Let's try it with Wattman since we can actually unlock it in there. So our first setting, we're going to go back through this and we're going to document this the proper way. Stock settings. 1630. 9 of 45. We're going to do ETH, Ubiq, ETH and Sia by itself, and ETH and Cred. So we're going to blaze through that real quick and just get a baseline. Again, this isn't for long-term stability. I'm just looking at output and power right now. So the first one we're going to do is number 3, which is just ETH-based stock. I mean, some of this is going to be the same. This actually has a check too with this other BIOS that we have selected to see if that's any difference. So out of the box with ETH, stock settings, 37.496. Now let's do Ubiq, which this has the new AMD driver. The mining driver, we did install that earlier. Ubiq is number 33. Ubiq's back to $2, I hear you. Same exact, almost. Ubiq's a little more, 37.768. Stock settings. Man, look at that. Look at that temp shoot all the way up to 71 already. Ridiculous. And you know what? I should take a reading. We're going to do this real quick. I forgot the power. I always do power too. Baseline on this machine's 115 watts with ETH. ETH power usage, baseline stock 375. Let's try Ubiq, should be the same. 115 watts on the CPU. And same exact for Ubiq, which is indicative. Let's try some ETH and Sia, which should be number 4. So this is dual mining. It should be a little more. So dual mining at 29 is 37.1 and 1078. And we're at 382. 381. I mean, it's not, I mean, it didn't go up a ton on power, which is crazy. So let's just check Sia. I'm kind of watching your guys' stuff as I'm kind of going through this. So Sia directly 21. That's actually pretty quick. That's actually really quick. That's more than twice as fast as an RX 580. 2197 mega hash on the dot. Power usage 377. Looks like the fan spun up quite a bit. Keep it cool at 60. It's weird though, if you guys look at that. So the temperature is down, but the fan speed's still setting up. It really takes it a bit to cool to spin the fan down. I don't know why, but it's a little strange. It's not bringing the fan down really quick. Alright, so ETH and Cred, I think is number 4. And this is all baseline. ETH and Cred 37, pretty much flat. 09 and 11, 12. What speed is this? So I usually run 33 on this. 33. And we're running at, yeah, right about 37 and 1200. Let's do 1200. 1216. And this is 36.8 on intensity 33. That's not too bad either, but I did not capture the power though. It was my fault. Let's do that again. 5. This is called the scientific method, folks. Three. That's 380. Again, 380. It's about 380, 382, depending on the fan speed. I don't think Zcash works for it yet, guys. I need to get if Claymore. Oh, did I click Sci? That might have been my fault. 6. No, that's Lbry Coin. Lbry Coin's airing out. Let's look here. Number 5. Here's Ethan Crdt. Ethan Crdt looks like 37.1. And 1224. At 380. And let's do, you guys want to see Ethan Pascal? 7. And this one I usually go down, I think, to 27. Just depends. It's actually not too bad either. It's getting a lot on Pascal. Move up to 33. Drops the ETH. Down to 34 and 1100. Let's do, yes guys, I'm going to put all of these figures, I'm going to create a blog post on Steemit. I'll put it out there and then I'll put it on our website too, bitsbetrippin.com. So ETH plus Pascal, default clocks is 36.767. And that is at intensity, what intensity level we're at? We're at 27. And 989.9 at 383. So roughly about the same power, which is crazy if you really think about it, because just ETH by itself, this is strange. Just ETH by itself, I mean, we just did it a minute ago, but ETH by itself at stock clocks is the same power as dual mining. Like, what in the hell? There's got to be some overhead that we can take out of this, guys. I'm just telling you, there's something else going on. Yeah, I mean, look at 375. We're almost, you can dual mine. So, I mean, bottom line is RX Vega, you absolutely should be dual mining. If you have a RX Vega and you can't return it or whatever else, it is advantageous to dual mine because there's a 5-watt difference between dual mining and actually single mining. Hashtag dual mine. Yeah, it's 380. It's the same wattage. You guys want to see the afterburner watt usage? I don't know if it's actually on there. Temps, memory clocks, temperatures, memory usage. I think you need a watt meter because this thing's all over the place if we could see it. And this is not, it's not allowing us to see. Alright, so we've done all the main coins. Turn up the DC to 100. The intensity. There's your 100. Nothing going on there. Let's try it with there you go. Good call on the turning up the intensity. Still at 384 watts. So if we do 100 intensity, ETH plus Decred, we're at 30 mega hash. And 3,039 Decred at 380 watts. Yeah, from a dual mining standpoint, I mean, you're getting your bang for your buck. I guess it comes down to a math problem to figure out, you know, if Decred and some of the other altcoins take a heavy lift in price. I mean, it may offset some of the power costs, but 3,000 per card. That'd be a hell of a 13 card mining rig. 36,000 Decred, or 39,000 Decred. That's funny. All right, so let's go ahead and do 100 intensity on, and then we're gonna take the volt. We're gonna take everything up, and we'll try to do the undervolt. I don't think it works. There's people that have reported that putting the voltage change in the actual script is not, with Claymore, is not functioning for the Vega, but we'll take a look here. Let's do what are we doing? 7 Pascal, 100 intensity Pascal. Let's do it. Pascal. Really drops down the ETH. I wouldn't probably do that, but just from a benchmarking standpoint, we got that. 14.7 plus 14.73 Pascal at 380 watts. Well, at least the 380 is pretty damn consistent. When it's full tilt, it's full tilt. Any chance we could test Digibyte? Let's see, 41 Digibyte. I don't mind Digibyte, so I have no idea what's good, guys. You guys are going to have to tell me. I put it in there for you guys, but you tell me if this is good. Digibyte's a little lower. Power-wise, 362, 40 mega hash, 42 mega hash. Zcash isn't working. We'll try it. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So 45 Digibyte. 45.95 mega hash. People mining Digibyte, is that good? I don't know. I don't mind Digibyte. I just included it in the multi-miner. This is Claymore 9.8. When I'm running Claymore on this, it's version 9.8. Try script. I don't have any script stuff down. I do need to put, I'm going to make a note. Add script to multi-miner. Hush should probably have the same problem as we're having with the thing, because I'm going to be using the Claymore. And if here's Hush number 20, or yeah, and right there's our problem. CL open, it bugs out. Claymore needs to update 12.4 GPU miner to be able to do kind of crashes out, so no go there. And I don't know if, I don't think I have Stygian or Snigington set up right on this. I think my Chaincoin instance there doesn't work anymore. I need to fix that. Could try Pascal coin directly, I think. Again, this is all stock settings, and then we're going to go ahead and juice her up. Here is just focusing on Pascal coin. And it's 1.4 gigahash. Pascal by itself, 1.5. That's about what it was at a full intensity. So GPU management, settings, 1.6. 1.6 looks like 1.6 gigahash. So it's about 200 megahash more. 1.67. Block. All right. Let's test. I think we're at the end of this here. 6 1080 Ti's will trip. Yes, you're gonna be. You're probably tripping. The power bar is probably not made to go over much over 1,000. Use a higher in power bar, or go with a like a GFI connection. Hush, Pascal coin. I think that's it, guys. I can't do any of the Zcash. And Monero was not working with it either. The Monero miner does not work. If I do Monero, it gives me a general error. Right there, AMD HSA code object fell. So nothing on Monero. We can't do Monero with it just yet. They need to do a fork of it. Okay. So we have a baseline, we have temps, we have all that stuff. We can't change the voltage here. Let's just try, before we go and play around with the other settings, since we can't change that here, I'll try it both places. I will try it using Wattman, which usually kind of sucks, but at least we can see the voltage selector in here, and I can change it. So if I change this, and then that's its step, and let's say, I think I saw somebody have it at 1,025. Let's do 1,030. So that's actually 0.00. Let's see if that actually functions. We can just test one coin with it real quick just to see if we have a change. Let's test ETH3. And let's see if we are at 375 again. $378. For a second there, I thought it was going to work. It's staying down at 320, and then it popped right back up to 375. So it looks like Wattman is not working. Whatever that is not undervolting it. Ah, Claymore just updated Zcash miner. Nice. Hold on, we're gonna get it. Claymore, Zcash, AMD, 12.6. Here it is. Takes us to Bitcoin Talk. Let's pull this guy down real quick, and we can just drop it in. I mean, you guys are getting to see kind of how quick you can just update the thing here. We were not using that before. 12.6. We were using 12.4 for the multi-miner, 5.4. I need to update this. Now you guys can see what I'm going to be doing tonight after this. Let's extract this. Extract. It's fine. Alright. And then what we're going to do here is Under here, I take this. I take this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cheat my setup here a little bit. I'm going to name this. I'm not going to rechange my naming here, so don't mind this. This is just a lazy way of doing it right now. I'm going to delete my source here. I'm going to pull my source in over here. And we're good. The multi-miner is updated right now. It's just got the wrong pathing names. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is the cheater way to do it. So now we're that quick. The multi-miner is now updated. Let's check 18. And this is the latest Claymore. There it is, 12.6. Zcash. And we're authenticated. And 472.26 hashes. Bone stock, we haven't changed anything. So 470, 471. Essentially a 1070. A 1070 base stock. So that's bone stock for that. We can try Hush now, I believe. 24 should be pretty close to the same. Hush. Again, I'm gonna pull all this data, guys, and I'm gonna make it available. I'm gonna put it on bitsbetripping.com under one of the posts, one of the main forums. We'll make sure it's available in Discord in the resource area on our Discord, and I'll make a Steemit post. That way, it's out there in Steemit for all the details, at least from a baseline, and then what we take it up to tonight. Hush is a little faster. 480.5 hash. Again, this is not a stability test, a long-term stability test or anything like that. Okay, so I think we covered the gambit of that. Thanks for bringing that up, guys. That's why I like doing this stuff on the live stream. And we're good there. So now let's go ahead and start playing with some stuff here. So I'm going to leave the core right now, the core clock, and I'm not going to touch it. We're going to go to memory, we're going to check power, and then I'm going to back the core down, and you're going to see it essentially do a little bit of dropping, but not too much. And then we're going to take the power limit up. And for whatever reason, normally usually you take the power limit down. On these cards, for whatever reason, they are significantly, well, not significantly, but they're noticeably faster when you bring the power limit up on them. They're power hungry, kind of like the 1080 Ti's. So we're going to take the memory where I know that it's stable from our earlier testing to 1100 from 945. So we're going to turn the page here. Actually, I'm going to do it on this side because I want to be able to see it in the order that I did the other. Vega RX 64. Again, this is kind of a live, what I would have been doing without having the live stream, and then when I decided to set here, I was like, well, why not have the live stream and we can talk when I do this. So that's why I'm recording everything. So 1100 there. We're going to leave the power limit alone. We're going to go to, not Ubiq first, hold on. We're going to go to Ethereum first, number 3. Underclocking the core will reduce the power, but we're gonna look and see how big of it hits us. For this card is not acting like a normal RX 470, 580, or 480, 580, 570. It's acting different. So memory, not much of a change at all, just by taking the memory up. So ETH memory at 1100 from 945. Nothing at all. You guys see it? It's actually descending some. We're going to shut it down. I'm going to now change only one thing. I'm going to put the power limit to 33. I'm going to unlink that because I want to make sure that that stays up. I'm going to leave that at 1100. I'm going to leave the core the same. We're going to apply. We're going to go back to Ethereum and we're going to check it at power limit 33%. We did Digibyte, Jacob, earlier. Digibyte was 45.95 mega hash. I don't know if that's fast or not. Look at that. Just changing the power. And we're up to 40, 41. It was up 43 for a little bit. It's descending a little bit as it's thermal throttling because it's at 72 Celsius. It just thermal throttled on us, and you can hear it spin up a lot more. We're at 477 power. So we had 43, 473 power. It's 100 watts more. And the fan's sitting there at 70%. 100 watts more is going to generate a lot more heat. It takes it a second to cool down, even with the Celsius sitting at 45, if that meter's right. I mean, we don't know if it's really right, to be honest with you. If it's at 40 Celsius, that fan shouldn't be sitting there at 60%. So we're going to let that fan spin down a little more. We're going to leave the power limit at 33. This is just crazy talk. Like, we shouldn't need this, but guys, if I switch this back to 0 and I leave the memory clock up, and I go back to Ether, and I'll take the power limit the other way too. We'll do this test for a second, and then we'll do a full benchmark across, you know, some settings that are solid. Little inconsistent because now we're getting, well, we're at 38.8. Back to 37. That's at 370. Let's go to 10 on the power limit. Yeah, let's get this set to CPUs. We'll leave the memory clock here. Let's do 3. Again, we'll leave the meter down here on the memory clock. %power limit. 41 point. We're at 406, 402. So ETH at 0, power limit 37, while at 1100. ETH at 10% is at 40.3 or 40.2 at 405 wattage. We're at 375 and the other wattage. If we're at we go all the way to the top, and do that, and that's going to put us to, and let's do 100%, let's do 33%, then 100% just on ETH. And we're at almost 44. On ETH. It's going to start to throttle here in a minute. And we're at 470 watts. There it's throttling some, I think. No, still holding. At 43.931 ETH. And it peaked at 470, which is crazy. Now we're thermal throttling. And it's starting to spin it down. We're going to go back to where I was looking at the sweet spot at about 33 when I was doing some earlier testing. But we really need to undervolt it, and we're not really successfully undervolting it right now. I'm just going to check the power, or just the settings. I have at 0, 10%, 33%, and 100 or and 50% on the power limit. Yeah, and see, 33% uses a little less power, about 20 watts, and we're getting almost the same amount. So which really looks like we're maximizing. We're giving the card enough power, or enough juice, because it's just overhead of how much power you feed it. How much it's going to use is up to what it needs. And we're at 43. What we'll do is we'll take a step down a little more, 450. Now we're up to 464. A lot of that's because the fan's spinning up too. 43.925. Fan's at 96%. Get rid of that. We're going to let this thing cool down for a second. And we're going to check 25%, and then if that's the same, then we're going to go with that for across all the rest of the coins. Again, guys, you know, this is more just observe and report right now. That's what I'm trying to do right now, just observe and report based on just setting certain settings. Again, we're not being able to you know, clock it down. It looks like, you know, we had some instability here. Some instability here when we were doing it. Keeping it down here at 33 looks like it's giving it enough, but if we're not giving it enough, it looks like it's starving it. And the memory's all over the place. Alright, it's cooled down some. Let's set this to 25, and then this will be our final test with playing with the power limit. Core clock won't matter too much unless we're doing like Zcash, and we will do that. We'll do some specific testing. This is kind of a robust test tonight, and I'm sorry if it's dragging on. It's been 50 minutes, but hopefully some of you guys are finding this valuable. I would be doing this without doing the live stream anyways, so I'm just figured why not take you guys on that adventure. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. All right, so let's do again Ethereum 3. This is at 25% power limit. This is Ethereum again. And we're looking at, so 25% looks like it's enough power. I mean, it's just under, but it's pretty close. I mean, we're right there at 43.92. That's really close to what it was. It looks like we're at 443 in the wattage. Alright, so we're getting some thermal throttling there, it looks like now though, where when the power was at 33, it was not dropping to 40. So that's an observation. So we're just going to keep this at 33. I was not having it drop even when it was full tilt, when it was at 33 power limit. But at 25% or 25 power limit, it was dropping. It just dropped it to 40 mega hash. So we're gonna choose 33 as our baseline power limit for right now. Again, and the way the Gamers Nexus did their reviews, and they have some different equipment. They can probe it. They actually have the REL ring where they can put it around the REL and actually get the actual real readings from things. I don't know how they were undervolting it, or if it was just their card was fine to be like the afterburner unlocked for them, or if they used a different tool to undervolt. But we don't have a tool to undervolt right now. We're going to leave all these settings here. I do know that if I take the memory clock up a little higher, it does cause it to crash. I tried 1125, it crashed earlier. 1100 seems to be really where the limit is. That's a pretty decent overclock for what this is right now. So now let's go through and just do the rest of the coins like we did earlier. We got ETH pretty much figured out. Let's do, next would be Ubiq, which should be pretty close to the same. Ubiq is we tried the BIOS switch. It's on the second position. We ran all the previous tests in the first video on the first position. So, and I'm getting the same results. I do not think the BIOS switch had really anything to do with anything, to be honest with you right now. I think it's just two of the same BIOSes. It's not any quieter, and it doesn't seem like it's going in any kind of gamer or overclocked mode of any sort. The core clocks and the memory clocks are exactly the same in either position the BIOS was. You guys were on this video, no, he switched it, and it was the same. So, here's Ubiq. Ooh, look at Ubiq. Hopping in at 44. Ubiq. With these settings, 44 at 440 watts. 400, let's just say, let's call that an even 450. The fan is going to bring it up some. 25% power watt. And then we are at, and it throttled, it just did. So it is temp throttling. I'm going to put that as a note. I had a peak of 44 and temp throttle to 40. Seems the temp throttling kicks in at 70 Celsius. So let's do. So Ubiq is doing it 44 mega hash. Let's do ETH and Psi. So Ethan Saya is number 4. And we're going to max the intensity on this. We're going to take it all the way to 100. So Ethan Sai at 100. We're at 478, 480. Woo! $480 at 1800. So we're at 18.8 and 1888. Or 1886. Alright, let's take this back down to our other test was 29. 29 intensity gives us 35 and 1,000. $35.3 at 36, let's just call it 36, and 1,046 at the same wattage. So for people keeping score, that's actually slower. It's actually slower than what we had when we had it on stock settings on the dual mine. So the stock settings was 37.6 or 37.1 and 1,078 for Saya earlier. Now I'm going to let it cool back down real quick. I'm going to let it spin down because I think it's actually thermal throttling it. But we're not getting the advantage of the overclock and the power limit increase with the dual mining right now, with it being overclocked to power. So I'm going to let it cool it down. Maybe it was thermal throttling, and we're going to let it cool down. Trying to quiet. And if you see right here, we were all over the place. So you see, I want these lines like this. I don't want that memory moving. You see this jaggedness right here? This is that last burn right there, and it was like all over the freaking place. So I wanted to cool down, calm down, card. Okay, there we go. Let's try Ethan Saya one more time. The 4. I really wish I would have had the water-cooled version of this. This is an 8 gig model. This is the RX VEGA. This is a Sapphire edition. Yeah, because there you are. With it cooled down, that is a little faster. So it did thermal throttle. 37.4 and 1124 at 480 watts roughly. Well, it's 470 right now, but the fan's going to kick it up. So 37.4, that's like less than 10%. Look at, it's already temperature throttling. And see right here how it's all over the place. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to feed it more juice real quick just for this test, and see if the more power lets it be more stable. Let's do this again. And let's see if we can make that line straight with a 50% power. Oh, look at that, boys. Look at that. Power matters. Power matters. 40 at 50%. ETH. Saya, even with the heat. Even with the heat. 40. $1,200. We're at 72 Celsius. It's all over the place. Still. 530. Holy shit. That is hitting. That card's running at over 400 watts right now. What's the TDP of this? We might blow this card up tonight. It's thermal throttling like a sumbitch right now. 75 Celsius. That was 530 watts. There's that dual mining power increase. You know, I'm curious. We're going to come back to this setting real quick. Here's what I'm curious before we proceed on, and I'm going to get to Digibyte and all that with this, so don't worry, with the overclocks. I'm going to reset this. I'm going to put the temperature limit back up. I'm going to put the power limit all the way back up, and I'm going to go with stock settings. We're just feeding it power. I'm just curious if the clock settings are bullshit and it's just you give this thing you feed the beast. You feed it more power and it gives you some output. Let's check it. Alright, same thing, we're going to let it cool down. Spin down that fan, cool down. Cool them down. Fans coming down. Alright. Let's do this. Let's see. You're just feeding it more power. Alright, so feeding it more power, we're at where the stock settings were. 37 is what we had before, and that, but we're using 518 watts of power. $500 watts. 530. We're going to let that calm itself back down. Okay, so we're going to go back to our 33 because that's where the rest of the test was at. I'll go to 50 if I need it. And I'm going to take the memory clock back up to 1100 because we are seeing that the memory clock does matter. I will change the GPU clock. So we're going to get through this test here, and then I'm going to come back and leave these settings with the memory, lock it at the correct 1100, and then I'm going to start dropping on the next series of tests. I'm going to start dropping the GPU clock and see if we can maintain and actually start pulling some wattage off the card. So we're going to go, we left off, we did ETH and Saya. We're going to do ETH and Cred now. And we're going to do it at 100 intensity, and we're going to do it at our other test that we did with it of 33 intensity. So ETH to Cred. I'm letting the car cool down. The car. I'm letting the card. It is almost like a car. The thing could be powered. I didn't think it uses half the power of a Tesla. The thing would drain a Tesla in like 10 miles. That kind of power usage. Let's see here. So we're leaving it at 33 power usage and that. Okay. So let's do Decred, which is number 5. ETH Decred, 33% power limit, and we're going to take this up to intensity 100. And there we are, 30. So we're 30.4 and 3043 Decred at 475 watts. And let this cool down, and then we're going to do it at Decred at 33 intensity, and then I'm going to come back in and put the intensity, I'm going to put the power limit at 50%. So Decred at 33, just because that's the setting that I usually run at on dual mining. So let's see here, I'm at 385.97 and 1189 at 400 and also 75 watts. So now we're going to take it and we're going to put this back at max settings, and we're going to see here's Decred. At 100 intensity. At max power, 50%, 100 intensity. Decred. And we're at no change. We're using a crap ton of power. 525, 30.7, and 3072. So no change there. Leaving it at 33 is fine. I'm not even going to do the 33 test because there's no point. Put the power limit back to 33. And we're going to go and do ETH plus pass. At 100. Intensity, which is number 6, I believe. Oh nope, that's Lbry Crdt. Did somebody check real quick? Did Claymore change 9.8 or is it still 9.8? Did he do a 9.9 yet? I haven't looked, so if he has, 7. We're doing 100 intensity on this. 33%. And we're at 15.3 and it's like 15. 7 at 470 watts. Still 9.8? Okay. Thanks, guys. And we're gonna do. So we didn't get. We did Digibyte next. Digibyte. Pascal straight up. Zcash. And Hush. And then I'm going to do a separate Zcash and Hush test by adjusting the core clock. Let's see if we can bump that up some. We can actually take the memory back down. We'll try it both ways, but let's do the noise this card is making. All right, so Digibyte number 41. So we got the power limit at 33%. And it's doing 50 mega hash. And it's using 33%. It's using 362. So an interesting note, Digibyte, when the power limit was 0, was using the same amount of wattage. So it looks like Digibyte's not really taxing the card. And look at that memory. Look at that right there. That's another indicator. It is just solid as a rock right there. So it's not really, the power limit's probably agnostic to this, because we're getting almost the same settings or the same speed. And I'm gonna Digibyte, I don't mind Digibyte normally. Is Digibyte predicated on core clock? You guys can answer that. If it is, then I'm gonna bring up the core clock and do a test with a core clock increase. Digibyte 48 mega hash. Digibyte goes up at the core. Okay. So let's do. Now this could destabilize it. I don't know, guys. Let's do this. Let's reset real quick. I'm gonna bring them back because we're not done with the testing. But for Digibyte purposes, we're gonna leave. We're gonna just keep feeding it 33%. Plus 33 there. I'm gonna keep the core memory clock down. Let's take the core from 1630 to 1700. Oh, screw it. We'll do 1100 here too. We'll do Digibyte, and we'll do a Zcash and that with this too, while we're doing this, and then we'll come back to the other. $1,700. Looks like it's so far stable at 1,700. $51.34. It was a small increase, but it wasn't much. At 1,700 core clock, it got 51.01. So not much. And it's only using 362 watts, so I don't think the power limit matters on this. But not much. Let's look at Zcash with the core clock increase from 1630 to 1700. We'll check the power on it too, and if it's up there, then we'll try it at 50% too. $530. So it is very liking the. They like it a lot. Core clock at 1700. 530 hash. And started a thermal, 508. So it peaked at 530, it's at more at 508. At 10, we're at 450 watts. We're going to try Hush. I will take the core. I'm going to take the core to the point that the OS dies. So let's, we will get to that. So let's see here. Let's try Hush. $24. We will go till it goes boom. Well, hopefully when it doesn't go boom, but at least until the OS says no, I'm giving up. So Hush at 33% and 1700. Is 530 one hash also, and descends with temps to 516. 510. If it's holding stable at 509, 510. Alright. So let's take this back to 1630. I will go back up on core, don't worry. I just want to make sure I'm having the right test with the remaining coins. Let's see here. So we did, we're missing Pascal directly. And we're missing Hush and Zcash at 1630 with the memory clock upgrade, which shouldn't matter. And then it looks like 1.3 gigahash. .2 gigahash. It's actually not good. 1.4. Okay, 1.4 is what it was before. No, it was 1.61 before. That's interesting. 1.6 or 1.452 at 487 watts. So Pascal coin's actually doing worse. Listen in headphones. It's like meditation class. Is it the fans descending and then increasing and the descending? Rain. I'm letting it cool down. I think we were just temperature throttled because it actually was performing like crap. 33%. So our next test after this, I'm gonna take the core clock up until we kill the OS, and try it, and then I'm gonna start taking the core down, and that'll be the last series of tests that we do with it. And then depending on if you guys are wanting to stick around or whatever, I can't do library, guys. The library doesn't work right now. Library gives us a general error. We need Claymore to update it. The library coin, when I try to do library, both from the SG side and from Like if I come here and do library from, like if I choose number 6, here's what the error you guys get with library with the Vega. Right here. Cannot build OpenCL program. So it gives us a general CL error there. So library is not ready yet. I mean, once Claymore updates it, then we'll be able to test that. So let's check. I just want to check Pascal because I was getting a weird result there. One more time with it being cooled down. I want to see if we're actually, because it was with everything core settings, no overclocks, nothing. It was getting 1.61 at 300 watts of power, 360 watts of power. And then we were just getting 1.4 at like 100 more watts. So something wasn't right. And we're still getting like shit here. 1.3. Yeah, 1.3. Yeah, not good. Weird results with Pascal. Confirmed. I'm going to checkbox it to say that I did it twice because I was getting a weird result like you would do normally in science of like, okay, that's not what I was expecting. Let's try it again. Zcash. Okay, so Zcash at this this is a real quick test. This is just us leaving the memory. It shouldn't change it any. 18, because we remember we just did the test with it at 1700 and got 530. Let's just see with just the memory increase, it shouldn't matter. But weirder shit's happening with this, so I'm gonna try everything. I peaked at 540 for a second. Now it's at 516, 517, 513. Okay, 517. Oh, I didn't check the fucking power. This is what they call trust but verify. I trust that it was going to put out a lot of power and do some decent numbers, but now we're verifying it and seeing how bad it is. I mean, if it was like $399 and you didn't have to pay much for power, meh. It's a dual mining beast that uses a metric crap ton of power. Not ideal. 508, 513, or at 450 watts of power. All right, bring that down. Hush should be about the same. $24. $20, 18, okay. 518 at 423. Got it. All right. So that's all the tests with the overclocks at 1100. Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. So, let's do a quick, let's see if we can kill it. Let's take this to 1730. That'd be 100 megahertz overclock on the core. Let's try Zcash. So 18. All right, Jacob, see ya, man. Polar bears are dying with this test. Yeah, this thing is just like, I can't believe, I don't understand. I don't understand what they were thinking. I mean, it makes sense that Vega slipped as much as it did now, if this is what they were dealing with in the engineering side. So 527 at 425 watts. It'll actually go to about 430, 440 after the fans spin up. And it's starting to temperature throttle. 5. That's a weird, let's try this at 100, or at maxed out. Because I think it's being starved for power. Which is funny. $540. So no, it doesn't matter. I mean, we weren't really hitting the power limits anyways, but not, it looks like that 520, 530 is its max on Zcash, at least that, at that settings. And we're not, this probably can stay at 33 because we're not hitting the upper limits there. Let's do 1770. And let's do 18. So we're doing 33% power limit. We got 1770 core clock, which is 140 more. 525. This thing is not increasing. I mean, it makes me wonder. I mean, it shows, Claymore shows 1770, but it's not changing, and we're not temp throttled yet. 515. I mean, to have no increase. It doesn't. Something ain't right. That doesn't make sense. Let's try, I mean, physics should have a result. If it's actually getting 1770 on the core clock, we should see, yeah, this page file on this is, and this machine is more than enough. I mean, it's a good observation, guys. I appreciate that question. The $20 gig. $20 gig, and I got 28 gig as the upper limit. So yeah, it's just weird. It's like we're getting this weird upper limit on Zcash. Let's try Hush at these rates. 24. So I'm putting a question mark with that one of why at 1770 Zcash Hush 1770 33%. Oh, let's see, that's more like it. 563 dropping, and now it's held. It's got to be like a driver or something. Something's causing, because it peaked at 563, which seems like it's there, or it's just hitting some kind of artificial limit. Because the 563 would make sense on the 1770 core clock bump. You put a question mark at 563. It's definitely not hitting an upper limit on the TDP, because we've seen 530 out of this. Yeah, and it's back down to 510 because it's temperature throttling. It's a very strange activity. I would say that that's probably accurate at 1770. I'm going to take it up higher. Let's try 1800. What's Ubiq at? I haven't been paying attention. Core clock is broken. I think you guys are right. It might be. We might need a reboot. You guys think a reboot? I think I'm going to go with RX 550s. Yeah. If you have a bad power situation, 1050 Ti for the Win editions are really nice. They do use a single 6-pin, but those things are rock stars, man. 14.3 mega ash at like 50 watts or something. 522, 523. Yeah, it's a hard limit, guys. 1800. I don't think this core clock's working right. I mean, it's saying here. It's saying here. Here's a way to test. This will probably be one way to test it. 1975 from 1630. Took the apply. Actually, let's not even use this one. Let's use Hush. Let's do Hush. 24. Let's see if it goes boom. It's thinking about it. It's thinking, do I really want to go that high? Whew. 530. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. What's the power? No way. Whew. 253, huh? Holy crap. Ubiq for the win. Yeah, there's no way, guys. I think this meter's broken. We're going to test it. 2120. I'm going to call it the 2120 test. Not after this stream. No, you can't. Ubiq and Zcash use the same, essentially the same settings. I mean, Zcash uses both memory and CPU. There's no way. No freaking way. 2120. So you're telling me 400 megahertz overclock on this? This meter's gotta be broke. Maxed out, bros. Maxed out. Ubiq, go. Boom. No bueno. Finally. So I was looking for a reboot. No, this is beta 16. Woohoo! Is she dead? Alright, so what do we learn from that? GPU meter maybe is dead. Okay, so from a reboot, let's go back and let's just test. I'm going to put this back at 33. I'm going to put... this at 1100 because that's what's been good for us here. And then I'm going to put this at 1770 because that's what I wanted to try to commit to Zcash and just see. Zcash or Hush, it doesn't matter. Let's go Hush, and just, this is easy. Stop watching the Ubiq price, 254 and rising. 254, is that all-time high? Is that or AHT? Nope. I think this is just a bug. I don't think it's actually pushing the core clock that high, guys. Seriously. Okay. So a way to test now is let's leave this at 33. This is the last series of tests, and then maybe if you guys are bored or something, and I was actually going to try one round of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds using it. You guys are more than welcome to stay for that. At the end of this, I'm going to do one more series of tests by taking the core clock down and seeing if we can get the power pulled out of it. So we're going to start with ETH first. And we're going to take the core clock down to 1630 is the regular. Let's go all the way down to 1400. We're going to leave the power limit at 33. I'll try with both the 33 and 0. And we're going to see if we can get the core down. So here's Ethereum at 33. $1,400. So we're at 43 for a 43 for a second. 39 at 441. So 40.2 at 430. And we're all over the place. All over the place on 30, 40, look at that, 36, 35, 34, 35. It's all over. It's dropping between 1200, 1130, and it's all over the freaking place. $15.30. It's so weird. I'm telling it to stay at 1400 and it's jumping all over the place. Temperatures at 83 Celsius. That's why it's thermal throttling. So the fan's asleep. This I think there needs to be a, like, you know, normally there's software updates for these cards. They almost need to push out a new damn BIOS. Like, this thing is all, unless this is software driven, this thing is all over the place. It should not be bouncing around like that. Like, this might be the first time we actually get a firmware upgrade for your damn graphics card since, like, the ATI All-in-Wonder Pros. Some of you folks know what I'm talking about, those 9700 All-in-Wonder Pros. First cards I ever did mining with. All-in-Wonder Pros, and right when we started switching over to, it was the 9700s and 6800 NVIDIA cards. First cards that I did Bitcoin mining with. Back in late 2010. Like, this thing should not be all over the place. So I mean, we didn't see much there. So I'm gonna bring this down. We're gonna go. Let's do this. Let's reset this. Let's bring this back up to 1100. The weird part is that even if we set this here, let's get rid of that. Apply. If we take away power. Let's take away 25. Even with the memory overclock. Let's do some ETH again. So this would be an ETH test at -25. Stock clock. 1100 memory. 32 mega hash, and we are at 289 wattage. So 289, so the board itself is at 115. (288 minus 115). We're at 173 watts right now. This here from this point on should be the most interesting part of this. So we're gonna see how low we can get it and what we actually get hash rate wise. So maybe we're going about this wrong. So 173 wattage is the actual output of the card right now at 32 mega hash. So I mean, that's like 1070 territory. Let's go a little lower. Let's take this all the way down. Let's apply it. Let's leave the memory where it's at. Do 30. Let's do Ether again. Let's watch the wattage. So this is Ethereum now on this with a -50 on the power. Stock clock. We're at 24, 25. and we're at 229. So if I do 229, let's do one. Let's do two. Let's just call it 230. Let's call it 230 minus 115. Okay, we're at 115 watts. Is that right? Yeah. So it's 115 watts right now. Running 25.6 mega hash on Ethereum at 225. It's staying cool. It's at 57 Celsius, which is 115 watts, 108 to 115 watts right now. It's getting 25. Man, if this thing could get 32 at like 115 watts, it would actually be good. Let's see if we can do that. Let's do this. Let's bring this up. It wants more power. Let's give it more power. Let's give it to -40. Let's take the core down to 1550. Let's see if it just pays attention here. We'll just do it in real time here. I'm not restarting it. Ooh. 255, 31.4. Ethereum, -40 power at 1550. And 1100, and it's at 31.17, and it's at 253, which puts us at 253 minus 115. We're at 138 watts right now. 138 watts for the card. Right at 30. Yeah, the price is crazy right now. If the price, so you guys understand, if the RX, so the real factor is going to be, one is if the RX 56, when it comes out, if we can achieve numbers that are a little less than this, still get 3132 at 115 watts, and they hold that price at $399, it becomes the top card. Honestly, if we can maintain this on the 560 and they can sell it at $399, which we know they won't, it's actually now better than like a 570 ish. Let's play with this a little more. So ETH on, let's try dual mine real quick with these settings. Actually, let me see if I can drop the core clock a little more. Let's go down to 1400 at 40 watts. Let's go 3. So we did the whole echelon. I mean, you guys can see I have a whole punch list here of the stuff that we've done. We'll see 31, so we didn't take, so we're right there, right, 31-ish. No change. I don't think the core clock on this is working very well. We do know the power limit works though. So let's do this. Let's leave it going, and let's change this to negative, oops, not for there, negative 45. And where are we at? 27, 28 at 244. So we didn't move too much there. So negative 45, 1400. I don't think this matters. 1400, 1100. We're at 20. We just go down to 25. 27. 27.3. And we're at 138. Is that where it's settling at? Or 238? So 238 minus 115. So we're at 250 or no. 238 minus 115. We're at 123 watts on the card. At that rate. 26. This thing is overpriced by like $200 at least at retail. Yeah, with the power that it is, maybe 150, but I don't think this matters. Let's go all the way down. Oh, it mattered because it just dropped it a lot. And we did not drop too much on the clock, did we? We're at 21 point. Oh, we'll take the reading. ETH at negative 45. That's a lot of drop, actually. I'm just curious. Oh, let's take this reading. 45, and at core clock, so the core clock's working. 592 or 852 at 1100. We're at 21.743. We now are at 191 wattage used. Which means we are now at 190, let's call it 192 minus 115. We are now at 77 watts. Man, this card's like Jekyll and Hyde. So we're at 77 watts right now at 21 mega hash. Such an expensive card to be getting only 21 mega hash if you're trying to go low on power though. 77 watts. Let's take the power limit all the way down to 50. Let's apply it. I want to see how low this thing goes with everything all low. You know, it's the lowest settings. It did not change anything on the power meter. It did stabilize the 152 though. So I could see it kind of, oh no, we've been at E52s this whole time. All right, so let's take this back up to negative 40. So we're giving the threshold of power more. Did not change much of anything. We're about 10 more watts of power. No, we're still around the same wattage. Let's take the core to 900. Let's apply that. Does that put us over 200 here? We might be temp throttling too. Let me, because we're sitting at 73 Celsius. Let me set this to 40. Oh, wow. So it's not temp throttling right now. It's at 73, but it's not letting me go up anymore. Let's do 925. I don't think this thing's working anymore because it's not. Yeah, I think we're. I think the meter's not. Nothing's changing here. So I think we just confirmed that we can break the meter. Because nothing's moving here. Alright, so we're going to give it a reboot. We're going to reset our settings. I know where we were just at. So we went down to 852. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to bring up the power limit. Keep the core clock way, way down. And see if we can get it to like, I don't know if we can, maybe 950. We'll do a few more tests on this and then we'll wrap it up. Because we're almost at 2 hours. And it's almost at midnight. So, again, 160 of you guys kind of following, you know, and watching this, man. You guys are ballers, man. Thanks for sticking through this. This helps me kind of keep motivated to get it done. This is going to be a heck of a ride-up tomorrow. This is almost blog-worthy right here. All right. Let's run this guy. This helps me cry. Just waiting for the Vega giveaway. Yeah, I think we're going to hold on to this one for a little bit to be able to do some testing. Let's go -40 here, 1100 here, 950 here, apply. Three. All right, we're at 240, 250, so we're back up. $260. So 31 mega hash. 250 ETH, -40 power limit, 950 core, 1100 memory, 30.9 mega hash at 255. So I mean, you're looking at like 230 watt or 130 watts of power, 130. Almost 140 watts on the card right now. Right now as it sits with these settings. I mean, and since we can't really undervolt it right now, I mean, we could try to bring up Wattman and do the manual undervolting. Let's just see. Manual. $1,025. No change in the power. I don't think the voltage is working. And we can't change it here. All right, so I think that's I mean, it's a good observation. I'm gonna do some more stuff with it this week. Tomorrow we should have. Thanks for that super chat. Used like new on eBay soon. A lot of Vegas. Maybe. There'll still be a lot of people that are buying them. We're gonna do a quick. Let me get rid of this. Let me reset all this to stock. Your GPU warning. Your GPU has exceeded its temperature. Really? Okay. Well, you weren't auto throttling. You guys notice that it's not. Yeah, let's leave that there. I'll leave that in auto. It wasn't auto throttling. So, I mean, we kind of did the good gamut today on all those. You know what we didn't do, though, real quick? One more test, and then I'm going to do a quick run of... we'll do two things. We're going to do this real quick. We never did dual mining with all those low settings. Let's do a dual mining real quick with this at -40. Let's leave the core the same. I don't think it matters anyways. Put this at 1100. But with the -40, we did definitely see a change there. And let's just check like something like ETH and Sia. ETH plus Sia, -40, stock core, $1,100. $250. Now see, that's not, I mean, let's just do max the intensity. Really kills ETH. 12 and 1200. But there's no power change. We're still looking at 130 watts and you're dual mining. Set this back down to 21. And 28. So we did a TIA test earlier at 29. Let's just keep that the same, 29. We got a 22.1 and a 643 at 255. All right, so we've done that test. I wanted to check dual mining. It's dual mining at a 570 level. Yeah, and probably power too. Oh, it gives me that warning because it keeps resetting that thing back over. I'm setting this up. I just want to see if NiceHash actually can read this. No bots allowed, people. I'll answer some questions while that's running. Epic fail. Where's Miss BBT when you need her? What, you guys asking me questions? You saved me 500, Carter. I thought it was worth $1. Ah, thanks, Cove Miner. Yeah, I saw that. Letting this thing run the optimizer here. I just want to see what this thing does. Digital mining solutions. Why would a GPU get 2 mega hash per second? If you're running Windows, make sure you have the latest updates. You guys want to see PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds before I shut this thing down? You can hear the card doing its thing. It's I try to be as transparent as possible with you guys. That's why I know it frustrates some people on there. I see some of the comments like, oh man, you should have pre-researched this, or you should have done this, and guys, I want you guys to go through it with me. I want to make sure it's transparent. I want to make sure you guys are seeing what I'm downloading, that it's the same. I know in this kind of world it's really hard to find that, but it's the only way to really prove it is just to do it in front of you guys. I mean, you guys are seeing it. It's all real time. You're seeing the trials and tribulations. I think it's a valuable service to provide to you guys. Do it. Well, I'm doing this one. This will take hopefully one more minute or so. I want to see. I want to see what nice hashes it pulls out. Hook up that fan to a power generator. Yeah, it's running 440 watts. Thanks, Sheriff Phillips. Well, this would be a good write-up while we're waiting for nice hash to come up. This should be a pretty decent write-up. I'm going to go ahead and write this up as a blog entry, and then we'll put it out. I'll put it out on Steam it, and we'll just lay it out, and then we'll just put some timestamps in the videos. That way you guys have, you know, kind of a reference when you can go back and say, you know, how this was doing. Thing is a spinning. The thing is definitely putting out some noise. Not much heat. I loaned out my my thermal gun. Otherwise, I'd give you guys a thermal reading on this thing. On the outside. It's halfway done. We can't hear you though. Card is loud as fuck. Yeah, it's freaking ridiculous. And this was the quick benchmark. Ain't nobody's got no time for that. Just start. Oh God. Where is... I don't know which one to shoot. We'll try them both. Ah. Well, there's Threadripper. There's Threadripper for people that wanted to know. And that's only using 50%. So I think I need to turn off lock pages. But it's a little over 1,000 on the XMR. So a whole whopping $1.60. All right, let's do this. Let's launch Fraps. I'm gonna go in with no sound because I don't have any sound. All right, I have sound. I just don't have any. I can't remember. It's F11. That's right. All right, let's check this out. What? All right, guys. 90 FPS. Oh, you know what? You can't see. Let me. Here. That way you guys can see. Let's do it. Oh, this thing's loud. It's already getting loud, boys. So you guys should be able to see the fraps up in the upper left-hand corner. Now I'm doing this with no sound, so I'm gonna have a slight disadvantage. But 40 FPS. We're at 1080p with this monitor. 60 FPS as it's going. Looks like we're running about 80 FPS. Thing's running up almost 500 freaking watts, boys. Good question. Settings. Ultra quality. Let's see here, boys. Ruins. We're at 78 watts. Or 70 Celsius. We're at oh my god, look at that frame rate drop. We had some frame rates down to some spikes, some jitters. I'm not using my gaming mouse. I'm using like the worst mouse you can possibly use. It's like an old HP mouse. Where do we need to go? Oh, we're right on the edge. Perfect. A little bit of skipping. Extended mag. I need weapons. We're going to check this area since I can't come back to this area. I won't know if I'm getting hit unless we are actually overclocked right now. I did keep the overclock and I have the power limit up. Still holding about 80 for FPS. I mean, this is 1080p, so it should be not too bad. Based on the way the plane was going, should be okay for a full minute. This thing is putting out some freaking... Alright, let's do this. I am not doing pretty good here. Oh my god, the frame rate's horrible. I'm having some drops here. Man, this thing's like an aircraft carrier taking off. Oh my god, switching. See that lag? Look at that. Lag switch. Look at the frame rate. I was totally lagging out when I was doing that. Oh my god, lag, 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 lag. Horrible. Oh my god, 1%. Not good, guys. What? Oh my god, I'm lagging. 50 FPS, but then it drops. It's huge spikes. There we go. Oh my god. Spinning mag. Look at this. 0 frames. Network lag detected. Maybe it's We're inside the box still. So that's looking across to the south. Again, I can't hear anything, so... And even if I did, dude, this thing was so loud, I don't know if that's going to work, guys. I mean, like, that is just too loud. I mean, those are fine for servers, but, I mean, even if the side's on this thing... Here, hold on. One second. While we're doing this, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to hide for 1 second. And I'm going to put the side on this. Where is the side at? Where did I put the side? Right here. We're going to line this up. Hopefully not get shot in this house. Still not loud. I'm still loud as hell. .45 still alive. .55. I mean, how did the audios make a no difference? I was gonna say, any difference? Oh, got ball cap ballers. I can't hear anything. I don't like this spot though. Oh my god, look at the lag. That's gotta be network lag. Level 1. Oh, I gotta move, boys. I gotta move. Behind us, this way. Let's do this. Oh my god, there's a inopportune spot there. Sometimes a truck up in this building. Oh, somebody took it. Alright boys, we're making the trek. There's no assholes behind me. can't hear any vehicles or anything, so it'd be shitty to get ran over. Always take the high position. Clear your zones. Check the map. You can go high. Use the buildings as cover. Door's been open. Somebody's in here, maybe. Lagging like a dog. So somebody's been on this side of the house. There should be some people running this way to get into the zone. Wall's coming. Oh, there's always people up in the school. If they can stay there. Oh yeah, boys. Now it's all about doing some strafing. Getting a high position. Hopefully not lagging out. Oh my god, I'm lagging. Oh no, did I crash? Oh my god, I crashed! No! What happened? The crane crashed. I'm black screen. Oh, fuck you! Oh, what a shitty ending. That sucks! We were going for number 1, boys. Oh, that sucks. Oh well, that was fun. Well, that was a shitty ending to an interesting card situation. Let's go back here and we'll kind of end it out. I don't know if I had. Oh, the thing's kind of done. Let's switch this back real quick. All right, boys. Well, it's 12:30. It's kind of late here. It was a 2.5 hour stream. Thanks for hanging out there, guys. For the folks that were watching that, unfortunately, we didn't even get to shoot anybody. That was unfortunate. I'm gonna go through this, tabulate all this, kind of put it out there, and we'll put out the news that this isn't so good. So no problem on the stream, guys. I thought the second one would be a little more detailed, and that way we could see what this thing could do. So thanks for sticking in there, and we'll do some more testing, with it if there's a few more drivers and stuff that comes out. But you guys hang in there. Thanks for sticking through it, and we'll have another stream tomorrow. We'll be doing the 12 GP mining rig tomorrow. So thanks for hanging out, guys. It was a good time.